Hello, everybody. This is Rachna, and I'm here with direct and indirect speech for you. So, here are rules for converting from direct to indirect. Now, let's understand what is direct and indirect speech first of all. When we talk of direct speech, it is, like the word suggests, direct, which is spoken directly, you know, and you are quoting exact words, and you are telling somebody else something, or it's like you're talking to someone, then we are speaking about what has just happened in the past. That is indirect speech. Now, direct speech repeats or quotes the exact words spoken. When we use direct speech in writing, we place the words spoken between quotation marks. It could be single or double quotation marks. And there is no change in these words. We may be reporting something that's being said now. For example, a telephone conversation or telling someone later about a previous conversation. Now, indirect speech, it is reported, or indirect speech is usually used to talk about the past. So we normally change the tense of the words spoken. We use reporting verbs like say, tell, ask, and we may use the word that to introduce the reported words. Here we must note that there are no inverted commas or quotation marks, so to say, which are used. Yeah, we do not use them. The changes of direct and indirect speech depends on some factors like modals, reporting verbs, place, time, tense, pronouns, etc. Alright? So I hope this is really clear to you all by now as to what direct and indirect speech is. Now let's understand how are we going to change them, and now it changes as per tense. So direct and indirect speeches to be understood. Here, present simple will be changed to past simple. So, the subject plus the first verb, the first form of the verb with the object will be there, and it will be converted to the subject plus second form of the verb with the object. Present continuous would be like subject plus is, am, are, the first form of the verb with ing and the object, and it will be converted to past continuous, which is the subject plus was, were, the first form of the verb with ing and the object. Okay? Now, the present perfect is like subject plus has, have with the third form of the verb and the object, whereas the past perfect would be subject plus had plus the third form of the verb and the object, right? So I hope these three are clear to you, so we can move on to the remaining ones. Here the past simple would be like subject plus the second form of the verb with the object. That would be a direct speech. It would be changed to past perfect with subject plus had plus third form of the verb and the object. Past continuous would be subject plus was, were, the first form of the verb with ing attached to it and the object. Now, past perfect continuous would be subject plus had been, the first form of the verb with the ing and object. The future simple would be subject plus will, shall, the first form of the verb and the object. So the present conditional, it would be changed to, and that would be subject plus would with first form of the verb and the object. Subject continuous would become subject plus will or shall plus be with the first form of the verb and ing and object. Now conditional continuous would be subject plus would plus be plus the first form of the verb with ing and object to it. Alright? So now let's understand the other ways of converting. Yeah. Now what we have here is changes as per the reporting verbs. According to the reporting verb, changes are made in the direct sentence or the sentence in inverted commas. Now, if the reporting verb is in the past tense, then the direct sentence is changed in its past tense. Now, the tense of the direct speech remains unchanged when the reporting verb is in the present or future tense. However, if the direct sentence contains the universal truth, then it remains unchanged in the indirect speech. So I hope until here it is very clear to you all, and we can go ahead with changes as per the modals. So you have direct speech and indirect speech. Now can would change to could, may would change to might, must would change to had to or would have to, should remains as should, might remains as might, could remains as could, would remains as would, ought to remains as ought to. So I hope this is really simple and really clear. There shouldn't be any problem here, right? Now changes in place and time. What happens with direct speech when it gets changed to indirect speech? The words like now changes to then, here changes to there, today changes to that day, tomorrow to the next day, last week to the previous week, this to that, tonight to that night, ago to before, thus to so, hither to thither, come to go, hence to thence, next to following. So I hope these are really clear and you don't really face a problem here. Okay? So let's understand the remaining bit of it when we talk of changes of interrogative sentences. What happens? Rules of direct and indirect speech for interrogative sentence conversions are: the reporting verb said to is changed in asked. Like the reporting verb said or said to is changed in asked, demand, ordered, inquired, as per the nature of the sentence. Okay? While a sentence starts with reporting verb, then at the conversion time, if or whether is used as the joining clause. In case of the sentence starts from WH, question word, like when, where, whose, then no extra conjunction is used, right? So what happens when we have changes of pronouns? Yeah, when we have changes of pronouns, a very, very simple thing that really happens is but of course when I tell you, I'm also going to help you with words which are pronouns and how they're going to be converted. Yeah. So while making the changes from direct and indirect speech, one should be having knowledge of rules of changes in pronouns. The first person in reported speech changes according to the subject of reporting speech. In reported speech, change of the second person depends on the object of reporting speech. The third person remains unchanged. Okay? So let's see a couple of words which are pronouns. Right? So the direct speech would be changed to what in indirect speech? For example, if you have I becomes to he is or he or she, You changes to he, she, they. We to they. They remains as they. He remains as he. She remains as she. It remains as it. Us remains as them. Our changes to their. His to his. Her to her. Its to its. So I hope this is like really clear to you all. Thank you so very much and have a wonderful day ahead. Stay safe, stay secured. Thank you. Bye bye. That will be all.